Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got the how to make an ultimate from the Strongest Battlegrounds. This has been something that is beyond heavily requested on the two videos I made where I showed you guys how to make the little, what are those things called? The little attacks or whatever, the skill set selectors, those, yeah. And stuff. You guys, a lot of people in the comments wanted to see how to make an ultimate and stuff. I'm gonna show you guys. And like it's a pretty basic thing, just showing you guys how to really just put together animations and then just put it together into a combat system and stuff. And yeah, just to let y'all know, I tried my best. I tried my best, but let's get straight into it. All right, so first things first, we're going to need, of course, effects. Like, the way my attack works, my ultimate works. I took inspiration from one of, I think Garo, I think this is his name. Yeah, Garo. One of Garo's effect. I mean, one of Garo's ultimates from One Punch Man. In the game, I took a little inspiration from that. So pretty much the way mine works is you throw a couple of punches, then you do like a stomp, and it has an effect and stuff, right? So you can pretty much get effects by literally just going to the toolbox, unless you already have your own. If you already have your own, then you just use those. But yeah, so simply I just went to the toolbox, found some effects. So this is my punch effect right here, right? So every time a player punches, it'll look like this. Stuff pretty cool, honestly. I was surprised, honestly, it was free, but yeah. Then this, well, it's invisible right now. Well, here, let me just show you guys. Okay, so pretty much I set the transparency to 1, right? But yeah, here's what it looks like, right? So yeah, so pretty much I have the shot, I have my parts, right? You guys literally can go find this if you just go search it. Literally, if you just type in stomp effects, or no, sorry, type in punch effects and you'll find both of these. Literally just go to the toolbox, type punch effects, and you'll literally be able to find both of these. So yeah. So if you're using the ones I'm using, or you're just trying to generally do what I'm doing, then you're going to want to do this. For the stomp effect, you're going to want to set the transparency to 1. We're going to tween it to kind of animate it and stuff. I will delve more into that when we get to that part in the script. As for the punch effects, you guys can just leave it as is. You don't really got to do anything except, I guess, adjust like the part sizing and stuff. But yeah, so once you have your effects ready, you want to throw these in server storage, right? We're going to clone these over from server storage, so we're just going to let them chill there. Then if we head on over to sound service, I have my 2 sounds. Punch, of course, every time I hit the player, it's going to make a punch sound. Then when I do the stomp, we'll say the final animation, stomp is going to make the stomp sound, right? Because obviously, you need visual effects, audio effects, you need all of it to, make it really look nice. So yeah, let's get into the actual scripting though. We're going to head on over to Starter Player and insert a local script into Starter Player Scripts. And then we are going to name this script Combat Script parentheses local. By the way, if you guys want access to these scripts, like when they're completed and stuff, or access to the model, you guys can become a channel member by pressing the join button next to the subscribe button. But yeah, let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in, delete, print hello world. And we're going to make a couple variables. First, we're going to get the user input service. So let's do local UIS is equal to game get service user input service. Then for our second variable, of course, we're going to make a cooldown variable because we don't want people abusing an ultimate. Now, I just want to let y'all know, the way I'm scripting it is kind of demonstrational purposes. Like, like obviously I'm not really sure how it works in the game, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure the way it works is like you can only use your ultimate like once after building up your bar. I'm just showing you how generally you would put it together. So don't expect it to work exactly as it would in the Strongest Battlegrounds. So then we're going to make a variable for the cooldown. Local cooldown, by default, of course, we're setting it to false. We're going to set it to true when we want the cooldown to be enabled. Then we are going to need a remote event. Let's head on over to replicated storage over here, and we're going to click the plus icon, click remote event. You guys can name it combat event. Then we're going to make a variable for the remote event. Local combat event is equal to game.replicated storage, wait for child, combat event, right? Then we've made all our variables. Let's get into the function. We're going to say local function, not punch because, yeah, it's a little different since it's like, we'll just say attack, I guess. Yeah, attack, because it's more than a punch. So we're going to first check if we're currently on cooldown or if the player is on cooldown. So if cooldown, then return. This pretty much is the exact same as if cooldown is equal to true. This pretty much, it's the same thing as that, in case you were a little confused. But yeah. So we're going to skip a couple lines after that, and we're going to set the cooldown equal to true after. Because if we're not on cooldown, then we want to now be on cooldown because we're about to play the attack. So then we're going to fire the remote event, combat event, fire server, and we don't need to send over any parameters. Any arguments. And then of course we're going to use a wait. This is the cooldown duration, I guess you could, yeah, that's the perfect word, duration. So for mine, I think a wait time of like 2.7 or 3 seconds is good for mine. But literally, I'm telling y'all, play around with the wait times. Play around with them and to see like what looks best for you. Because if you're using different effects and different animations, yeah, it's going to be different and stuff. So yeah. Then we're going to set cooldown equal to false, because the duration is ended, so we can set the cooldown back to false, and we're now free to use the attack. Then I'm going to set up the clicked function. So function clicked, or actually no, not clicked, because we're using more like key pressed, or no, let's say attack triggered. Call it attack triggered. That makes more sense. So function attack triggered, right? We're gonna say if input, once we put input up here, put input right here, right? Alright, so let's use a capital I, right? And then we're gonna say if input, this won't autofill by the way, so make sure you're typing everything like, exactly as I'm typing it. So user input type is equal to enum.user input type .keyboard, and cooldown is set to false. Then if input .keycode is equal to, then I'm gonna do that. If enum.key, I keep forgetting it's not autofilling, that's why. If input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode.e, you guys can once again change this to whatever you want. If you want to be the letter R, the number 1, whatever. I'm just gonna go with E, right? So if all those conditions are met, we're going to call the attack function. And I'm sorry if I do type stuff wrong. As y'all can see, it's like almost 12 o'clock. I was at school earlier. I'm honestly like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to call the attack function. Then we just got one last thing to do. We're going to hook this function up to the user input server so that it's triggered. So yes.input begin, connect, clicked, or attack triggered. And then, yeah, make sure you just delete it if it does that. Like, it shouldn't be yellow. It should be just regular, just like this, pretty much. And good news, we are done with the local script, but there's a lot to do on the server script, so let's go ahead and get to it. But we are done there, so let's head on over to server script service and insert a server script. We can call this combat script, and in parentheses, put server. We're going to delete print hello world, and we got about 7 variables to make. So let's get straight into it. First, we're going to, of course, get our mode event. Local combat event is equal to game.replicated storage, wait for child, combat event. Then we're going to get the effects. Local punch effects is equal to game.server storage, wait for child, punch effects. Then you guys can really copy and paste this. So select it, Control C, or press copy up here. Then enter. We're going to skip to the next line, paste or Control V, and then you guys can it literally just saves time in my opinion. And then we can do stomp effects, right? Then we can just change this to stomp effect. And then, yeah, there we go. Then we're going to get our services. Local TS is equal to game, get service, tween service. Then the last service we're going to get is the sound service. So local SS is equal to game, get service, sound service, right? Then we're just going to skip a line or two, and then we're going to get our animations. So first, we have local left punch animation, or you guys can really say LPM, I guess. Yeah, if you want to abbreviate. Equals instance dot new animation. Then of course we got to set its ID. So left punch animation dot animation ID is equal to quotation marks RBX asset ID : 2 / followed by your ID. So my ID is 14304281101. Okay. Just to let y'all know, the animations I'm using in this video are R6, right? So if you're testing this using my animations, simply go to game settings, right? Go to avatar and set avatar type to R6. Like, just test it using my stuff, and if it works correctly, then I bet all you gotta do is just change up a couple things, right? Because a lot of people come to the comments and say, oh, the animations didn't work. I'm just letting y'all know this only works for R6. Like, you can modify the script to, of course, work for R15, but you'd have to change up the animations and a little bit of the coding for the damaging. But anyway, we can do what we do best, copy and paste. We need to copy paste this 2 times, so paste and paste. Then we can just change this part. So right punch animation, we're gonna put that right here. Then we're gonna change this ID. This ID is 14304286033. Then we're gonna change this to stop animation. Then paste that over here. Then for ID, going to say 14304293587. And boom, just like that, we have our animation set up. Then we're going to create 2 local functions. We're going to come back to them, but for now we're just going to create them. So we're going to do local function load animation. I mean, just load animation. We'll just say attack handler because it does a lot more than just load animations. So we'll say attack handler. Then press enter. Inside the parentheses, put humanoid. Right. Then we're going to make one more local function. So local function damage handler. This will damage the player. So character to damage. Then enter. Boom. We have our local function set up. We're going to come back to these. For now, we're going to work on the on server event function. Combat event dot on server event connect function in parentheses put PLR, which is short for the player. Then press enter. We're going to of course get the player's character. So local character is equal to player dot character. Then we're going to say if character, then we're going to get the player's humanoid. Local humanoid is equal to character find first child humanoid. Right, then we're going to say if humanoid, enter, then we're going to trigger the attack handler function. So then we're going to say attack handler, and we're of course going to send over the humanoid of our player that's currently trying to attack. Right, then we're going to use a for I v in pairs loop to get all the players in the nearby area. So for I comma v in pairs game.players, then we're going to say get players. Right. Then enter, we're going to say local enemy character is equal to v dot character, right? Then we're going to say if parentheses enemy character dot humanoid root part dot position minus player dot character dot humanoid root part that position. Once again, please make sure you're typing everything correctly. If you literally you accidentally put like a lowercase p right here, it literally will not work. Like make sure you're typing everything right. Then we're gonna go on outside and say dot magnitude. It's less than 100. So this value right here, this number value right here, this is the range of the attack. I'm just gonna set it to 100 for the video. You guys can mess around with the value, change it to whatever it is you want. Keep in mind, a lot of the stuff in the script you can really change, especially number-wise. You can change to get whatever your desired result is. So yeah, we're going to say 100, and we're going to add on an and. So and not, then in parentheses, we're going to say enemy character dot name is equal to player dot name. Then we're going to say enter, and then we're going to trigger the damage handler. So damage handler, send over the enemy's character. So if you don't really understand what it is I'm doing right here, this pretty much ensures that we're gonna get all the players nearby, like in the nearby surrounding area that are within the range. But we're going to exclude, of course, the player who's attacking, because why would you want to kill yourself? Why would you want to kill yourself why would you want to take yourself out if you're trying to? The goal is to kill other players. Actually, no, because now I think about it, some game that actually does sound kind of cool though, like a move that would, never mind. Besides the point. Let's get into the local functions. All right. So first, let's take care of damage handler, because damage handler is literally one line. All we're gonna do is do character to damage. Then we're gonna say dot humanoid dot health is equal to 0. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the way things work in the Strongest Battlegrounds is if a player uses an ultimate, it's a one-shot. I honestly am not sure. If I'm wrong, you guys can change it to where it's humanoid dot health is, and then you just subtract, I don't know, like 50, 80, yeah, you can adjust it to whatever way you want and stuff. I would think that ultimate's one-shot players, but I'm not honestly sure. But yeah. So then we're going to get into this function, and it's a lot, so get ready. First things first, we're going to set up the animation tracks, right? We're going to do local animation track 1. The great thing is about this, it's one of those things we can just copy and paste and just change a couple things, and then we can save a lot of time. So we're going to say it's equal to humanoid load animation. First will be the left punch animation. So we can copy and paste this 2 more times. So paste, paste. Then we're going to change this to 2, change this to 3, and then we're going to change the second one to right punch animation, change the third one to stop animation, right? Then skip a line, we are going to clone over the punch effects. So local punch effects clone is equal to punch effects clone. Then we're going to use a for-I loop to pretty much create an effect, pretty much make it look like we're just throwing multiple punches. Like it's pretty much, it's repeating the animations over and over again so that we're constantly throwing punches. So we're going to say for I is equal to 1, 3, 1. This pretty much means we're going to start at 1. It's going to count up by 1 until it reaches 3. That's pretty much how this works. So say if you want, so we're only going to throw 3 sets of punches, right? If you pretty much, to explain it, if you want the punches to last longer, change this, make this value higher. If you want the punches to just be a few punches and stuff, make the value lower. That's pretty much how this works, right? So we're gonna press enter. Then I'm gonna say weight 0.3. By the way, all the weights I use, this is me testing it and practicing with it, and these are the times I got. The times may be different depending on if you're using different effects, different animations, so you would have to mess around with the numbers. So yeah. So we're gonna play animation track 1. So animation track 1, we're gonna play that, and we're gonna put 0.2. Pretty much what this means, when you play an animation track and you put a number here, this is the duration that the track is going to play. Like you can make an animation, you can kind of speed an animation up in a sense. Like it'll play within this amount of time. Regardless, like if the animation is 2 seconds long and you put 0.2, it's gonna just play the animation quickly, like quick enough to the point where it plays and finishes within 0.2 seconds, right? Now onto the next line. We're going to play the punch sound effect, of course, every time. So ss dot punch, and we're going to say play. Then we are going to set the punch effects clones dot positions. So dot position is equal to humanoid dot parent. Then we're going to use brackets because we're using R6, regular brackets, quotation marks, left arm, because that's when you guys see the animation, that's the one that should be throwing the punch, I believe. Yeah, I believe. Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna switch it out between left arm and right arm. You guys will see what I mean in a second. I'm gonna say dot position, right? Then I'm going to set its parent, so punch effects clone dot parent is equal to game dot workspace, right? And the great thing about it is I'm actually reusing the same effect and I'm just switching the position. So instead of like cloning it, putting it in the workspace, destroying it, and then repeating the process, I'm just reusing the same one effect. So it probably saves resources and probably best for performance too. So we're going to do wait 0.3 seconds again. And just like before, we can copy and paste. Let's throw this all right here. Change this to animation track 2, right? Leave that time, punch play and stuff. This time you're going to want to do right arm, and then you can delete the last one because it's already in the workspace. It's already parented to the workspace, so no real point. And then we are done with the for I loop. We can go on the outside and we can play the third animation track. We'll say the finisher. So animation track 3, play, and we're going to play it within 2 seconds. Then we're going to do wait 0.2 seconds. Then we're going to destroy the punch effects. So punch effect clones. Please make sure you are very careful of what it is you're typing, because I won't lie to y'all, like it honestly took me a couple hours to finish this because I kept typing the wrong thing. Like make sure you're doing clone and not punch effects. And same goes for stomp effect. Like make sure you're referencing the clone, not the one we have in service storage. So then after that, after we destroy it, we're going to do wait 0.6. Then we're going to access the sound service. So ss.stomp play. We are playing the final sound. So wait 0.2 seconds once again. And then we're going to clone over the stomp. So local stomp effect clone is equal to stomp effects clone. Then we're going to set its parent, stomp effects clone dot parent is equal to game dot workspace. Then we are going to pivot. If you don't know what pivot means, it's an alternative to move to. It's just moving a model over like moving a model to a certain position by using C-frame. So we're going to say stomp effects clone, and we're going to pivot to, and then we're going to say humanoid dot parent. We're going to say bracket, quotation marks, left arm, and then we're going to say dot C frame plus vector3 dot new 0 comma 5 comma 0, and boom, we are done with that. We are almost done, guys. Just a 4IV in pairs. So 4I comma V in pairs. Then we're going to do stomp effects clone. We're gonna get all the children, because just to let y'all know, it is 3 mesh parts, I believe. Yeah, it's 3 mesh parts inside the model. So then we're going to set up the tween. Local tween is equal to TS create V for the instance, then tween info dot new. I'm going to set the time to 0.11 seconds. Then I'm going to say enum dot easing style dot linear. Then enum dot easing direction. Of course, I'm going to go without because it's kind of like spikes, but you guys will see what I mean. Then I'm going to put a comma right here, and then for the property table, special brackets, and then I'm setting the transparency is equal to 0. And then of course I'm going to play the tween, and then I'm going to go on the outside and say wait about a second and a half, and then I'm going to destroy the stomp effects clone, and boom, we should be done. I know that took a minute. We can go ahead and test it. If anything's wrong, I'll go back, figure out whatever's wrong, and fix it. Because honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if I test something wrong. But anyway, ignore that. That's Roblox being Roblox. But anyway, so if I press the E key, as you guys can hear and see, boom, there you go, just like that. So as you can see, we have our effects. Looks pretty nice and stuff. Just want to let y'all know it's basic. It's my first time doing something like this. I'm gonna definitely improve and make a probably better video in like a few weeks, maybe like a month when I improve. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like and subscribe. Links to join my Roblox group and Discord can be found in the description. If you guys need help, you can join the Discord and stuff. Please do, because honestly, it's much easier to help y'all because y'all can actually send pictures through Discord rather than a YouTube comment section. If you want access to the model and scripts, you guys can become channel members by pressing the join button next to the subscribe button. Really would appreciate it. Shout out to one of my recent Discord server subscribers. Shout out to him. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.